What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the drone show. Got another one for you today. This is a Sujihiki sharpening from Yoshida Hamono. I'll get you a close up here in a second. This is in Aogami number 2. It is, I believe, 240 millimeter. It's a pretty nice little knife. I just got it the other day. There was a Black Friday sale. I actually got it for $75 off the Perfection store. Put it over here on this camera and show you real quick. I mean, the fit and finish is decent. For the price, I wasn't expecting anything significant. You can see there's stepping here between the ferrule and the handle. And it's just a cheap wood, but that's fine because I replace handles typically anyway. At least on some models I do. What I wanted to do today, though, is I wanted to give a sharpening first on this Vigorcraft 1K. That's the Naniwa. So what I wanted to do was sharpen it, finish it off on the Aoto that I have, and this Kiita Aiiwatani Koppa Tomae, I believe is how you say that. I'll put it in the description, but yeah, I'm not going to try and say that too many times. I'll give you guys a shot over here on the more close up here. This is the one that I sealed with cashew lacquer the other day. It's all sealed up and cured nice enough that I can use it. But yeah, I mean, overall, this thing, out of the box is fairly sharp. I did not dull it. I am just going to refine what is already there. I am pre-soaking the stone. It says to soak it like 5 minutes or so. It's like some of the other Naniwas, where you just kind of give them a little pre-soak. You don't have to go crazy and do a 30-minute or something like that. But yeah, this isn't going to be necessarily a tutorial, just more of a information on how these other stones feel, the Japanese naturals, and the overall impressions of this knife. So without any more talking, let's get on to it. So we'll go ahead and get her out here. I was messing around on the back of it there earlier, sharpening some pocket knives and just seeing how good. I actually like this stone, and the stone set from Vigorcraft on Amazon is currently $24.99. And I got news from the seller that the price will be going up soon, I believe, after the new year, and whichever comes first, I believe, the new year or their stock is depleted, and then the new round of stock comes in. It'll be $45. But honestly, for a 1K and a 3K in the carrying case and stuff, that's not bad at all. Yeah, recommend this stone set if you're looking for an inexpensive Japanese quality ceramic stone set. Haven't had any issues with mine so far. There's been maybe one thing with flattening it at first that seemed kind of pasty, but that could have been me. Who knows? But in looking at this knife to proceed here, I mean, everything looks good. The bevel is straight. There's no, there's no like divots or grind gouging marks or anything. Looking down the spine, everything looks straight. Yeah, for $75, which again, that was a Black Friday price. I don't think it's much more than that, like standard. Maybe like 90, 100, I don't know. But for the price that it is, I mean, that's a great deal. And I got a lot of use for it. So anyway, let's get started here. Just go ahead and get her going. It's crazy that Christmas is coming up. One of the things oh God, what is going on there? I do not like that sound. One of the things I'm going to do too is I'm going to announce who won the drawing the other day that I did for the last video that I had. Just kind of a fun little bonus thing. And what is going on? That is making some stupid noise. Let's set this over here. Just going to give away a knife. I may give away a stone, which also I bought another set of these to give away. So be looking for that in the first drawing. Let's see if that noise is gone. Please be gone. I hate that noise. Okay, I have got to fix that. It's going to drive me absolutely bat doo-doo crazy. You guys have any, anybody have Christmas plans already? Like, you know what you're going to do, where you're going to go? I'll probably travel some more, like I did for Thanksgiving. Seem to be traveling a lot lately. It gets a little old, but at the same time, you know, get to see a lot of things. But man, I'm getting too old to be traveling in a car all the time. I guess a lot of people travel for the holidays, so it's not like it's anything new. There we go. Nice and quiet. Man, this stone, I tell you what, for the current price that they are, $24.99 for the 1,000 and 3,000 in a set, man, you really can't beat it. And I mean, it's a Naniwa. It's legit a great stone. It's a hard stone too. Like normally for that price range, you kind of get softer stones and stuff. And whew, that's really reactive. I know Aogami is reactive, but that seems to be like more so than I'm used to. Yeah, so Aogami 2, blue paper number 2 steel. Looks really good. I'm seriously impressed by this thing for the price point. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just giving my normal 10 strokes per section. Yeah, between 10 and 15. Depends on what I get out of the first few passes. If I see there's no progress, I'll, you know, give it a little bit more than the 10 and go on from there. I'm trying to follow the factory grind angle to sharpen the bevel on too, which I couldn't tell you what it is. It's probably, if I had to guess, between 12 and 15 degrees. But I don't know. I could get my angle finder and tell you, but I'm lazy. I saw a video the other day. Tell me what you guys think about this stuff. It was one of the companies that I want to get their resin bonded diamond stones. It's NSK Kogyo, or just NSK, the Kogyo line. And there was a test going on. Ivan the Sharpener did it with the 100K grit. And holy crap! Now, number one, I don't have an use for anything that high. And again, they're not making it currently, but it's something that could be made in the future. It was just a test. It was a beta test, essentially, that Ivan got to participate in. And he did a test where they did 30K, 60K, and 100K. The results, obviously, were super smooth for cutting, like sushi and carrots. He cut a tuna, I believe it was. But could you imagine what it would be like sharpening on 100K grit? It would just be probably like butter. Huh. I can't get a burr back here. Let me look at this thing real quick. So I've got a burr through the complete knife, all the way from the, it might be a little spot at the very, very tip, but it's a significant burr up until I get right here. I'm gonna look under the microscope and see if it's just kind of uneven or something. Sometimes that's what happens. Like the grind when they're using, I don't know if they use the wheels in this particular blacksmith factory or whatever, but you know, whether they use the wheels or they use a belt, sometimes it hits it in a weird way. So let's see here what we got. So I'm just using my little $20 Amazon digital microscope. This little guy right here, it's got a little zoom and a little light and whatnot. It's actually really handy, especially for things like this where you need to check, and like a jeweler's loop doesn't always do it. So it does, if there's a tiny burr, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my angle just back here a little bit, because I think there's a low spot. Whenever this happens, that's usually what's going on. It's a low spot. And I can kind of see in the reflection that it's perfectly even, and then right there it kind of, like, it's exaggerated, but it kind of rounds off and dips off a little bit. So first thing I'll do here is I'm going to take out any load up. There wasn't much, but sometimes that can hinder your cutting ability. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at my angle and see how it hits the stone, right? Because you can see the light. And then make an adjustment. I'm going to put some significant pressure here and see what we get. Nothing. Huh. Well, that is just crazy. There we go. Man, I really had to crank the pressure on that. That's insanity. So that tells me then that there's probably maybe like a warp or like a wavy spot that I can't see just by looking at it. So I'm evening out the pressure in these 3 spots here, and I'm literally cranking on it just to see. And I'm putting most of the pressure on the back corner, and that's actually finally getting it. But wow, huh, that's crazy. Never had that before. I mean, I've had weird spots, but I've never had it where I couldn't get it, which that was kind of throwing me off there. Seems crazy, like if I'm sharpening offline and I'm not recording it, you know, for a YouTube video or a demonstration or just whatever, offline, not doing that way, I don't ever have problems. I don't run into any stupid issues. It all seems to go without a hitch. Whenever I'm trying to make a video, something always goes wrong. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to just hit it up here just a little bit. And have you guys experienced that? I don't know if it's like the curse of recording a video or what. Seems like it always happens to me. Okay. Yeah, we're good. I kind of overdid it a little bit, but that's fine. By overdid it, I mean I didn't need to do it that much. Go ahead and clean the stone off, any load up. Which I noticed too with this particular Vigorcraft stone. The load up that I initially had mentioned on my first review of the stone, that load up didn't seem to occur as much after the break-in. So obviously there is still some load up, but yeah, it wasn't near what it was whenever I first did it. So I changed this camera angle here because I noticed my arms and hand were getting in the way when I did the reverse side here like this. So my ambidextrousness is still, ooh, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can toss that overhead. So right here, I cut into that stone, probably with the burr. Like, honestly. It's not really a, man, that's a little bit of a gouge, yeah. Need to be careful with that. That's insanity. That's kind of this corner piece, which maybe that's the direction that the that back piece, I don't know. That actually wouldn't make sense. Not from what I was experiencing. How many of you guys out there have had experience with Rex, what is it, 121, I believe it is? I ordered a pocket knife that's in Rex 120. I'm pretty sure it's Rex 121. I know there's like, what, Rex 76? Yeah, it's got to be 121. Anyway, and it's pretty hard. I think 70 HRC. So you know that thing is going to be fun to sharpen. Definitely have to use diamonds for that. Anyway, I don't know. How many of you guys have had any experience with that steel? If you have, let me know your thoughts. I mean, I've obviously watched some videos on it, but I'd be curious of personal experiences of people like myself. Man, that really sucks. I mean, that'll easily come out with a little run of the diamond plate, but yeah, I don't know how in the heck that happened. I've never done it like that before with the back corner. I've actually ran a tip of various knives and other stones and had that kind of a result, but nothing like that. Man, I had a hard time getting back into the work groove last week after coming back from Thanksgiving. I had to start my diet back too, because leading up to Thanksgiving, I just, no holds barred. So much pie and good food. Gotta give it up. It's the vicious cycle, I think, you know. We eat and eat and eat, and then we diet, eat. I got a little uneven spot here. I'm going to do the old way. I'm going to test something. Let's see. There's nothing wrong with doing it this way. It's just, I think I explained it before, it does a little weird thing with the bevel and how it looks. It doesn't affect performance. It cuts just fine. But whenever you get whenever you do it like this right here, so from here down on this side, it goes a different direction. The scratch pattern does, and you can physically see the differentiation between it. And it just looks odd is all. Like I said, it doesn't hurt anything or affect anything that you're going to notice anyway. I'm just not super strong with my ambidextrous hand, so it takes longer. I don't know why I keep calling my ambidextrous hand, my left hand. I think sometimes whenever I make a video that my brain just ceases to function. It's funny. Those of you guys that are going out of town for Christmas, who goes where? Where do you guys like to go? I actually have to be careful splitting my time up because my dad, he has dementia. At least it's starting anyway. So I want to try and spend time with him, you know, as much as possible. But I also don't want to neglect other people. I mean, obviously my dad is priority, but gosh, getting old sucks. Speaking of which, I had a birthday last week. Well, the 4th. This is the problem for me right here when I do it on the left side. So as long as this is straight, I don't have a problem. When I get to areas like this, you know, and the knife wants to kind of, you know, like, because you can hold it and you can sharpen it, no problem here, right? It's all straight. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it while I'm there. But whenever I'm starting to move up and I get closer to here, you know, sometimes you kind of have to rock it a little bit. And I'm not always the best with doing that with my left hand. Kind of doesn't freak me out, but it worries me that I'm gonna make the bevel uneven. It always works itself out, but like I said, I get kind of frozen whenever I do this with my left hand. I mean, look at that really cutting there. That's good. Oh yeah, no, that looks real good. I don't know why I worry. It's just I like to be perfect as much as possible whenever I sharpen. I don't like scraping off finish if I don't have to, or any of that kind of stuff. Oh, I did it on my pocket knife earlier. I'll have to show you in a minute. Really pissed me off. Like, I'm so careful with my pocket knives. And you get the PVD or the, well, not DLC, because DLC is harder to take off, but like the PVD coatings, the black coatings on the blades. I'm always really careful. But man, I guess I just stopped paying attention. Freaking scratched that thing right all up on the bevel. It's like, oh my God. All right. So I learned that the bevel, the actual, you know, the visible part that you can see there, the edge bevel, is called the koba. So I learned that the other day. So this is actually the quote koba. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's bigger over here, so it's not symmetrical. That's something that I'll be fixing at some point in time. Actually, it's just not that bad. Looking at it now, actually, it may not really be. Huh, I may be lying. My bad. All right, I'm going to move on now to the good Lord, brain's not working. Burr removal. Good Lord. So these are the edge leading strokes. I usually do 5 with light pressure. That's a different creature with a longer knife. I've got a Kyusakichi. I think it's a 270, and man, doing this with that one is like crazy. So much blade to work with, but I like it. This is my first Sujihiki. I've not had one of these before. You know, I've got Yanagabas, but this is my very first one of these. I'm kind of excited. I know it's more of a slicer. So I'll use it for like slicing meat, ham and stuff. I've got a whole ham in there. I think that was 5. I'm gonna do one more just for good measure. I do that stupid lip smacking thing. I'm sorry guys. I need to get my hands on, I saw they made one of those, the burr is gone. One of those, and I'm gonna do stropping strokes now on edge trailing. They did a, forged a tuna knife. And it was like, basically it was a small, short sword. I'd love to get my hands on one of those. I forgot what it's called, and that's bad on me. But man, that thing was awesome. After this, I'm going to move directly to the Aoto, however you say that, the Japanese natural. I'm not going to go on the leather strop or anything like that. I'm also not going to spend a ton of time on the naturals. Number one, I don't think I have to. I don't know how many of you worked with the Aogami before. But that and the white number 2, the really good quality high carbon steels, they, I don't know, they take edges quickly as long as you have good, good stones and have good technique. And not only do they take good edges quickly, but burr removal is quick usually. I don't ever have a lot of problems with burr removal. I've had a couple of times I've had a small issue, but I think it was more of me than anything else, and an angle thing. All right, so I'm just gonna clean this guy off. For the naturals, I'm going to use filtered water. It's just, oh God, I've always done that. I've always heard others do that. I don't know how necessary it is, but that's just me. I'm gonna set this over here to dry, and we'll move on to the naturals. I will display when I was talking about the winner of the drawing for just a quick little knife giveaway. I will post that in the comment section, the description and the comment section. And I obviously will try to contact you. A winner. Okay. Here it is. My Aoto. This is a Tanaka Kyoto. I think that's the area where it comes from. Anyway, it's a good stone. I've had great success with it. Oop, get there. I've already flattened it. Like the last time I used it, I flattened it. I don't really find myself flattening it that often. So you'll see here real quick that this thing will drink water. I don't know how well it's going to come up in that camera, but well, you can actually see it right there, and then the edges. So this thing's crazy thirsty. I didn't know that when I first got it, and I was like, I'll just throw some, water on top like a splash and go and get after it. And I realized, wait a minute, no. I need to be more mindful. And yes, you just splash and go with it, but you need to be quick. Get the knife and get to rocking on it. So here we go. This is an equivalent of about a 2000 grit. Here, let's you listen to it. If I had to equate it to anything and how it feels, I would say probably the King Hyper, the softer one. Check and see. It's not going to be a massive burr. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, probably close to the King Hyper would be very, very close to what this feels like, and as far as synthetics go. It's really, it's velvety, and it's smooth, but it's not glassy, if that makes any sense. These are softer stones, so they're not like running over ceramic glass or something. It's not super muddy, but it will get, a slurry built up. Depends on how much pressure you put on it, which I'm just doing light pressure. One of the things you have to watch out for with Aotos is the inclusions. They are very prone, some of them, to having inclusions. I was told that if this does get, there's some mud there, if it does get inclusions, you just get like a pick, kind of like one of these. Something like that anyway, and you just kind of scrape them out. And I'm like, oh my God, like to me, that doesn't sound like something I want to be doing. But whatever. I mean, that's what you gotta do. It's what you gotta do. Here we got a little burr, a small burr, not a bill burr. I love Bill Burr. Some people hate him. I like him. Yeah, usually on these higher grit ones, you know, you will get a burr, but you're not going to get anything massive like your 1000. What I was reading about this stone, when I mentioned that it's around a 2000 grit, is it can be anywhere between, and again, this all depends on the surface, the stone itself, you know, how much of a slurry you have on it, your pressure, blah, blah, blah. It could be, you know, around a 2000 to 3000. Some cases a 4000. I would not equate this to a 4000 at all. But we're just refining that edge now anyway. All right, I think we can move on to the next side there. Yeah, super small burr. Actually, I think I will actually, let me look at this under the microscope again. Just simply to make sure that I'm seeing scratch pattern changes, as well as that small burr is exactly what I'm thinking. I'm mostly excited about getting to that Kiita Aiiwatani. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm not going to say all of his name, but I believe Koppa is the layer anyway, or Koppa maybe means the small stone or the broken corner. And of course, Tomae is the layer. Actually, that looks like a really nice burr, so I am just going to go to the next side. Yeah, I didn't realize that until, gosh, I would say it's been a couple months when I learned that the stuff in the name actually has a lot to do with the things such as, you know, the appearance. So if it's missing a corner like that one is, that's what the Koppa, K-O-P-P-A means. The tip needed a little work real quick, by the way. Because I know that a lot of it's the prefecture, you know, the mine that it comes out of and all that stuff. So I get all that. I didn't know that's what all that meant. I saw again, on Ivan's channel, Uchigamori, I think is what it's called. And that thing, man, that was beautiful. And it put on this beautiful shine. Okay, all right, that's good. Swap sides. He has such an amazing collection of stones. It's a lot of money. This one sits up kind of high. Higher than my other stones. Which is not a bad thing, but I'm not used to that height, so it's kind of weird sometimes. You can hear the difference in sound now because of me switching sides. It has to do with my grip. It has to do with, you know, how I do it on this side, and yeah. Pressure. My pressure is different. Still learning to do it on this side. I'm getting better though. It's just practice, practice, practice. I think the biggest thing is to get out of your own head. That's my thing. I get like all, oh, I just cut into it. Cut up in my head there. Caught up in my head. Cut up in my head. Thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm going to screw something up or whatever. Always believe in yourself. I'm kind of rushing because I want to get on to that Aiiwatani there. I'm not even like tested it since I got it, because I just sealed it immediately. I think it's probably more for razors. It's not that you can't use it for knives. It's just that size, and I think that particular type of stone was probably more for honing razors. But again, that means it'll work beautifully for honing a kitchen knife. I'm going to try and preserve the kanji on it as much as I can too. So I'm going to try and use more the center of the stone and the edge away from the kanji. It doesn't really say much. I think it says something about like where it came from, as far as like the market or maybe the seller. I use Google Lens all the time on these tags to to see what they're actually saying. Okay, let's see where we're at. Decent, super small little burr. I'm excited. There's a little bit of a differentiation there on the tip. From the factory, not from what I did. But for $75 again, I know I said this once already, you can't really beat it. Drop my rust eraser. Put that up there. Yeah, $75 for Aogami 2, you better believe it. The only thing better would have been if it was super. This should be the last pass. Need a little bit more lube. Man, I'm telling you, this stone is super thirsty. I've never seen people do natural stones that are this thirsty. Kind of had more of a glassy feeling on that particular run. Yeah, that's a pretty decent little burr. I'm gonna make sure with the microscope again, since these are so small and minute. And I'm glad I checked, because it's good from most of the middle up to the tip, it looks like. But there's some spots on the back end that I just need to hit real quick. Make sure that I'm getting an even little grind going on there. Yeah, I guess in this case, kind of a polish, right? How many of you guys watching have any natural stones? And I don't mean just Japanese, I mean any. Let's say Arkansas, Chinese naturals, whatever. I posted that video the other day that used that Chinese natural blue stone. That's one of my favorite stones. I've never used, well, I can't say that. I was going to say I've never used an Arkansas stone. I do have a natural Arkansas stone, but it's a small little pocket stone. I wouldn't really count that for anything. But yeah, I'd like to get some Arkansas stones. Okay. I do believe we're good to do burr removal. I'm telling you, man, this thing is insanely thirsty. I'm not going to do too many because this is such a small burr. It's pretty quiet stone. See if I got these colors fixed. It's not perfect, but for some reason the color grading on this Blackmagic CC camera that I have is just not cutting it. I probably need to make some changes on the camera itself. I kind of nicked the stone with the blade a little bit there on the tip. I mean, nothing bad. Just kind of got the tip just for a second. All right, I'm going to dry it off. I'm going to use the rust eraser here. Going to, look at that mud. That's how you can polish it with this stone. It's beautiful. I need to do that. I'm going to do a video where I do like I just did, where I run, the knife and refine the edge without a slurry. And then I'll raise a slurry like I just did, either with a rust eraser or a Nagara, something. And then polish it. And just see how big of a difference there is. Because, like I said, this can be up to, well, they say up to 4,000. And most of that has to do with the, like I said, pressure and all that stuff, but the slurry as well. So I could do that and see if we could use that and get a 2,000 grit edge and then a 3,000 or a 4,000 grit polish. I think that could be some fun. All right, moment of truth. Like I said, I have not used this at all. This is debut. Let's make the adjustment. Yeah, I haven't even put water on top of it at all, just to even to see like the color changes or anything. Right now it's kind of that yellow kind of, oh my God, kind of a, I don't know, like a cream color, I guess. Kind of reminds me of the Shapton Koromaku 1000, a little bit anyway. Nice, it gets kind of that, like a deep mustard. This does not appear to be anywhere near as thirsty. Let's just watch it for a second here. Give a real quick top view. Boy, it's up there. I need to adjust that camera. I'll bring it back. So yeah, looking at it, I don't really see it. It doesn't drink it. So this is definitely a hard boy. Hard boy. Let's see what we got. Get a little bit more water on top, and so like I said, I'm going to try and avoid this here. I'm going to look at the scratch pattern before I go and get on it too, just to see how well it refines. Actually, yeah, that's pretty consistent with 1,500 to 2,000 synthetic. So, yeah, good stuff. All right, here we go. Ooh. Oh. I don't want to stop. That's very glassy. Whew. Man, that is awesome. If I had to compare that to anything, my Arashiyama 6K? Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's not very loud. Yeah, the Arashiyama 6K, they are very similar in feel. I got this on Etsy from a seller that will, they'll source you different stones. They'll go to the market, I guess there's one close, and they'll take pictures of what's on the tables, and then you can buy them. This particular one was $95. I don't remember, yeah, I think it was free shipping too. Yeah, so 95 bucks. Man, that is, whew, that feels so good. It may be more of a mix of the Arashiyama 6K and probably my Shapton Glass 8K. Has that kind of nice kind of ceramic feel, glass feel. No pun intended there with the Shapton Glass being included there. Like, I'm pretty mesmerized by this thing. I'm not even wanting to talk. Maybe you guys are like, good, keep that up. Let me see if I can get closer so you can hear it some more. Let me go slower too so I'm not jiggling this thing. It kind of has a little chalky feel, not much. Oops. Had the GoPro kind of go out for a minute there, so I just came back. They don't like to get too warm. So what I was saying is what I ought to try is they also gave me a Tomo no Gura. I ought to see how well that does. You know, helping to polish. I don't know if I need to soak those. And I also have this Mikawa Shiro Nagura. I don't know. It's a nice little stone. I've not ever used it either. I'd like to. I don't know. Maybe another time. I'm not really I mean, I'm polishing the edge, but I'm just trying to make this baby nice and sharp. Let's see what we got. I think we actually should be able to move on now. I'm gonna double check with my little old microscope. Yeah, it looks pretty good. A nice small little burr. Nothing major. And that has to do with this stone. All right. Do a little burr removal. It's a small little guy. I am definitely going to use it to hone my straight razor. There's no doubt about that. I want to see what the what it's like straight off the stone without going to a strop first. I will do a strop, especially if I need to. But I just want to see how it cuts paper directly off the stone. Okay, I think we can just go ahead and move on. I got a feeling this is going to be a really good knife. Especially, like I said, for the price. I've said it 3 times now. I'm sorry you guys get tired of hearing me saying that stuff, but 75 bucks for Black Friday. It's again, a Yoshida Hamono. They changed the name, which I don't even know if I want to try and pronounce, but I'll tell you the name of it. But if you search that up, you can definitely find them still. I did it as a test. All right. I'm gonna take off the buildup if there is any. Let's get a nice little slurry that's forming even with the rust eraser there too. I probably need to chamfer these edges because I did have a little problem with that. So I'm gonna dry this off and I'll come back and we'll do the cut test. Boy, that did take off some of the kanji there. It's all right. It is what it is. Comes with the territory. I've got pictures of it, so I know what it is. Okay. Got you guys back up here with me. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rinse off the knife with clean water. Clean filtered water. Get us a fresh piece of paper and we'll see if we'll need a strop or not. This is the first time for me too, guys, so we'll listen to it and then I'll tell you how it feels as well. Ooh, get this cable out the way. I don't know why that got there anyway. There we go. We'll do it this way. Man, that's like butter. I say that every time. Push cut. Let's do push cut on the front part. Oops. Maybe actually get some of the paper and don't crinkle it, huh? Yeah. Oop. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Oops. I gotta be able to get the paper actually. Yeah, this thing. What a beauty. Oops. That was already kind of cut. I'm most curious about this back side back here. Let's see how well that does now. We could still use some more, but for the most part, we're good. Oops, that was already tore. Get a fresh piece. A little bit thinner. Ooh, listen to that. Like a razor blade, baby. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is the Yoshida Hamono Sujihiki 240mm in Aogami 2. We used the Japanese natural stones to finish off the polish. It was an Aoto and Kiita Aiiwatani Koppa Tomae. I think I got that right. Plus the Vigorcraft, which is a Naniwa 1000 stone to begin with. Anyway, beautiful knife. I'm going to throw in the description and in a comment who won the giveaway that I did that was just kind of a surprise giveaway from the last video. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thanks for watching.